We want New Zealand to be the safest country in the world. But we can't do it without your help.
You're the little boys that are looking for new recruits who can make a real difference.
Those who care about others and their communities.
I don't know if you're ready for this one here. Okay, here.
When you join the police, you'll be trained with skills to keep you and others safe. Receive a good starting salary. And...
We want fit New Zealanders, those who like to be active and willing to train and learn.
So what's holding you back?
Oh, it's just a tie tied to my waist with a bit of rope.
Yeah, I didn't mean it that literally. I was just asking the question.
Oh, okay. Drop it.
Do you care enough to be a cop? Take the first step and visit newcops.co.nz.
I just like that video. It's a little taste of New Zealand. Right, we'll see, learn more about the culture and the. That's not what I wanted. And also a little start on the accent. We'll look at another video here in a little bit. Do you want to start with some of your stuff, or logistics, or I don't know what you want to cover, so...
Whatever you want to do. I basically kind of come just to see if you guys have questions, which we can do at the end. My main thing is things that are missing. So if you haven't given us your courses, please email us this week, preferably, just so you can get entered into Canvas and all those good things. If you haven't taken your picture, we have a new system this semester, so you need to actually go to kegel.okstate.edu, register to come take your pictures here on, I think it's a Thursday, but it's just on our website, and they'll take a photo and send it to us for the handbook. It just kind of helps with names. If you haven't sent us your passport, your flights, that type of thing, we need those turned in because that's how we kind of organize all the group arrivals. There is only one transfer, so that's kind of how we work those off of. So it's one group transfer, and based on the flights, when the majority arrive, that's when the transfer will be. So for those of you outside of those transfers, transportation is on your own. So that's why we're kind of trying to get the last couple ones that we're missing. I think you've already sent yours tonight, so if we're missing any more, send them our way. What else? If you haven't enrolled, but we've given you the override, go home and do that tonight. And other than that, pretty much just the itinerary, and I don't know if you have plans for that or what you want to do.
Yeah, we can talk about that. Are you going to be with us for the duration tonight?
Yep.
Okay, awesome.
So whatever order you want to go in.
Okay, I've got Marcine here. Marcine, can you hear me?
Also, the other thing, after this meeting tomorrow or whenever, if there's someone you guys want a room with, just shoot me an email. My goal is to finalize it tomorrow.
Okay, I think you've gathered, we started, but I can hear you, but I can't see you, so I'd rather be able to see your face, and so you could see us, but so if we have a Skype guru, MSIS major in the room, you can come. Maybe make that happen, but so we'll continue, and you can hang out and listen, Marcine. That's better than nothing, right? So we'll look at this. We'll talk just a little bit about the country. And Marcine, I've got some slides up. I'll send them to you. I got to figure out. So that's the greeting. That's hello in the native Maori language. Kia ora. A little bit about New Zealand. That's we're going to Auckland. We're going to Rotorua. Unfortunately, we won't make it to the South Island on this trip. It just adds time. It adds quite a bit of expense. So, and maybe you plan to stay an extra week and go down there. That'd be awesome. But two islands, and ironically, they call them the North Island and the South Island. Makes sense. It's about 900 miles, 950 from tip to tip. New Zealand is about 1,300 miles east of Australia. It takes 3 or 3.5 hours to fly there from Sydney. What else? Geography, from beaches to rolling hills, forests, mountains, the Alps, Southern Alps on the South Island, snow, glaciers. Again, we won't see a lot of that or as much because it's the South Island. So it goes from glaciers and, in fact, right, you'll see some of this. This is the, I think, South Island, these kind of fjord-looking areas. More mountains. Skiing is big in the South Island, apparently. That, I believe, is Auckland. We'll be there. Two very nice beaches, almost kind of subtropical when you get to the northern reaches of the North Island. There are lots more sheep than people in New Zealand. New Zealand has about 4 million people. I don't know how many sheep, but sheep industry is huge there. So maybe you can pick up another one, Sarah, if you're... They're very connected to the land, especially the Maori people. And so, in fact, I'll send you guys another video of a native talks about native New Zealander, or Kiwi as they're called, and they call themselves that. Talks about do's and don'ts when you get to New Zealand, and it's kind of funny, but it's some good information too. But we won't take the time to look at it tonight. I'll send you the link. So my understanding is, right, they look at things like littering and disrespecting the land. They look down on that a lot. So we certainly need to respect that when we're there. There's an example of a Maori tribesman, and you all may have seen videos of the All Blacks or Maoris doing the haka, do other dances. We'll be introduced to that when we look at the itinerary here in a little bit. Some of the cultural things we'll do. Fascinating. Their best guess, New Zealand was first discovered, some Polynesians sailed or rowed probably to New Zealand about 700 years ago. That became the Maori people, the indigenous people there. First European explorer was Tasman, Dutch explorer. So Tasman Sea, Tasmania, explored that region. In the 1700s, Captain James Cook, British explorer, who also discovered where? Hawaii. Circumnavigated and mapped New Zealand. So I think there's a Mount Cook, so he's recognized there. Later became a British holding, and is still legally under the Queen of England. They're independent for all practical purposes, but they're part of the Crown. A big event in New Zealand's history is the tribe, and I won't get the pronunciation right, tribe of Waitangi, is that close? The Treaty of Waitangi, 1840, I think, when British met with a bunch of the Maori chieftains and so they gave the Maoris British rights as British citizens, but they ceded some of their lands. And I think depending on which side you talk to, who got the better end of the deal or what that deal actually was. So it sounds not unlike other areas, including the United States, where U.S. government treaties with Native American tribes here is like, we kind of messed over the natives. So I don't know all the nuances there, but I think there still may be some resentment in some place Again, but from what I gathered, and Jill, you correct me on any of this, that the Maori people now are more respected, integrated into the culture, and it's seen as not their second class, lower class. It's kind of a neat thing to be Maori. What else? So that treaty is 1840, 1860s and 70s. There were some wars that resulted from that. Europeans, or the British and the Maoris, but now under the Queen of England. Their government, they have a prime minister, parliament. They have a Queen's representative, the Governor General. This kind of does constitutional and ceremonial stuff. But it's all pretty much a friendly. So the Queen, or the Governor General, is not going to go in and can't overturn something the Prime Minister does. It's more ceremonial, and that person is appointed by the Queen with the consent of the Prime Minister. So kind of an English-British style of government. There's Hobbiton, area where the Hobbit, Lord of the Rings trilogy was filmed. That'll be an option. We'll look at that at the itinerary here in a little bit. There's another shot of that. If anybody wants to go over there for the day or half day. We'll visit this geothermal area. There's a geyser that's in the same area that goes off several times a day. So some very interesting natural phenomena that go on there.